King Sejong Station is the first map of the 4th series of the evening, and actually I forgot something, which is the week 11. So let's start right from the get-go. We're not too close in. So, okay, let's get back. So welcome back to the 4th series of the evening. It's the first map. We're on King Sejong Station. Spawning to the bottom right-hand side in teal is our Zerg player NoveaStar, playing for Hush. And to the bottom left-hand, to the top left-hand side in purple, playing Terran for LDLC, it's Miyako. The famous/infamous Miyako, who's actually managed to not lose a single series throughout the season. She's 10-0 so far, and probably wants to keep that stainless record by getting an 11-0 tonight. Of course, Novea wants to prevent that from happening. The question just is, will she be able to? So having already sent out a drone towards her opponent in order to get some information, maybe even being pesky with that SEV over here and just being a little bit annoying, delaying the completion of that Rex for a little bit, but at least getting a drone kill for it. Yeah, the sandwich. So yeah, sandwich, that is just slang for sandwich, and that was just because these two SEVs got the one drone in a sandwich and managed to kill it off. So Reaper already in production, quite typical opening there, while Novea just goes into a hatch first build and then into pool and then into gas and pool in order to get out some units and link speed, of course, as soon as possible. While in the meantime, she just tries to get her overlords into a good position in order to scout the front of her opponent. That's always a good position here, right on that tower, where you can actually just overlook everything that comes down that ramp, but the opponent can't actually see the overlord until she has some high ground vision. Also flying some overlord across the map, probably towards that towards the third base in order to get some information. Killing another Ling over here with the first Reaper, and now just moving across towards that little Reaper stair back here, where you can just jump up and get into the main base. Actually, no, it's there, so never mind. It looked a bit odd there, but yeah, it is. So, now finally getting in, throwing a Reaper grenade, even getting a drone kill over here, so Novea not really paying attention. You should actually never lose a drone to that early Reaper harassment here. Sometimes it just happens nevertheless, because you're just occupied with something else somewhere on the map. So, yeah, shouldn't happen, happens. Can't really do anything about it. It's not a big deal, though. So Reaper just hopping in once more, trying to get maybe one more kills, or at least some more information, even getting a Reaper grenade right underneath that queen. Unfortunately, second queen not in position, could have actually just killed all the Reaper. And now that would actually be a big deal if Miyako just managed to kill off that drone, and she does. So a delayed third hatchery for Novea over here. Not only that Miyako now knows that her opponent actually wants to go into a third base, but now she's also denied it, which is quite big here. In the meantime, we have the typical Miyako mine, marine and medevac push. That she's actually quite famous for, just burrowing the mine just in case units were being rallied towards her natural base, so she would have some means of defending this ramp against any units until the bunker is finished. But once the medevac just has finished, she will just be able to move every unit into it and then just fly across the map in order to deal some damage. Might even try to take out the third base. Maybe she does. Maybe she just lands here, tries to deal some damage to the third base, lure all of the units towards the third, and then just load in and fly into the main base. So we'll see what she's going to do, but this seems to be the plan. In the meantime, just macroing up, producing more and more units, getting more and more SCVs, while at the same time Novea just tries to get a layer up. So there it is, first push right onto the hatchery. I don't think she should really be able to get it, but of course that Widowmine is a very good position here. So if Lynx just came from that angle, oh, even cancelling it right away, so wow, that's actually huge. Just having to cancel that third base over here because just not enough units were ready for that kind of push. I don't know what Novea was actually doing in that time. Probably just too greedy droning. And actually I think she should also put a spore crawler, sorry, up here. I mean, there's always the risk of drops just landing here, but also liberator attacks. And of course she really has to take down this debris over here, because there's this abusable position where a Terran can just send tanks to and a tank evac, and actually Miyako just does this right now. And just place it over here. The medevacs just will grant high ground vision, and the tank will just start to attack the extractor and this mineral line from over here. And if these rocks are not broken down, there's actually nothing a Zerg player can really do here. Of course, Miyako can't really do that much damage with the medevac and the marines over here, but yeah, these roaches just can't attack. I mean, with the Ravagers, you might have the possibility to throw down biles, but if Miyako just pays attention and she has a medevac parked right above that siege tank, she will always be able to just pick it up with a medevac and just position it somewhere else, and then you will just have, yeah, I forgot. That's what Novea says. She already knew about this problematic situation with the debris, but she forgot to take it down, and now she just doesn't have the means to tear down these tanks. Even if some bile shots hit and others don't, the tanks will just survive, and you will have lost a lot of units in the meantime. So yeah, the map is pretty Terran favored in ZVT. So we'll see whether Novea is going to give up right away or not. I mean, Miyako right now is not really, well, she is actually thinking of she's also expanding behind this, so she's not all in by any means. Now even being daring enough to just get these siege tanks up, getting them closer towards this, and now again just picking them up, moving it out. At least Novea gets one of the tanks, that's at least a small victory. Will now even be able to tear down the rocks eventually, but it's still going to cost her. This one tank, with the help of the medevacs gaining the high ground site here, it just takes down the debris over here. Now, no, even again, if Miyako pays attention, there's just no way you will get this tank down with corrosive biles alone. But now finally she's managed to take down this debris over here. She's still short on one base. I mean, there's a Widowmine down here. Even if Novea just tried to plant down an expansion over here in the meantime, while she tries to fend off this attack, she wouldn't even be able to do it. Now, unfortunately, even corrosive biling her own units, and finally manages to clear off that push. But what did it cost? I mean, this base is down a queen and is missing 7 workers to be fully saturated, and even 3 more if you want to take that gas as well. This base is even oversaturated, is already losing a few of the mineral fields, and we still haven't had the chance to take a 3rd base down here, while Miyako has already placed her down at the 3rd base location, now getting into 2-2, while her opponent is still on 1-0. So everything is just working for Miyako right here. I mean, the supplies might not look as telling as the rest of the game does, but yeah, don't get me wrong. This getting back into this game will be like incredibly hard for Novea, if not just borderline impossible. And I'm actually just saying this because people tell me I shouldn't call games before they have actually ended, even though everyone can see that the game is over. And like I said, I just don't want to be that kind of caster. I understand that it's important not to make too quick a call, but sometimes there are just situations where an opponent just won't be able to get out of a desperate situation anymore. And this seems to be it. So again, maybe Novea could actually be able to hold this, especially with a lot of corrosive biles on the tanks. Miyako's medevacs are not close by, and Miyako is not really paying attention toward these tanks. Maybe she thinks she really doesn't have, but the biles are also not really landing on the tanks as well. So taking a lot of damage, Novea is. And finally, again, she seems to clear it up, but not without taking severe losses to her towards her army and also her economy, of course, because at some point in time she will have to replenish these units. But she only has right now only one mining base. Drones just being removed towards the third base as well, so finally mining will continue. But it seems as if she might even be losing this last base over here. Oh, Miyako not really paying attention to her units over here, losing a few units to corrosive pile, was probably preoccupied somewhere else on the map in the meantime. And it seems as if Novea know that the next few units arrive, and this is of course the problematic thing. At some point in time the bio will just be so overwhelming. There's a certain amount of time where you could break through, but now you can't. GG, and Miyako takes the first game. Second map, Apotheosis. Bottom right hand corner, purple, teal, and Zerk, NoveaStar. Top left hand side, purple, Terran, Miyako. She's up 1-0. Didn't really let her opponent get any breath during the last game, and eventually just overwhelmed her with Biotank and a few Medivacs. Let's see if Novea finds a solution this time around. Seems as if she wants to take the gold base or no. Okay, actually just goes for an early scout, which is quite unusual actually. I mean, sometimes people are just afraid of proxy reapers, so they just use this drone in order to scout the typical proxy locations where a Terran might be building the Rexes, but this time around she just uses an early scout and then just goes into an expansion over here. While in the meantime Miyako just finishes her first barracks and will then probably prepare to go into a base of her own pretty quickly. Spawning pool down, the safer opening this time around, not going hatch into gas into pool, but oh, actually she did, never mind, the gas is over here. I was just looking at the bottom side. That was really, it would have been really awkward. But yeah, that's actually something that a lot of Zerg players actually do, just normally plant the spawning pool over here and then the gas right next to it. And seeing this build order is a bit unusual, actually, I have to say. So, but still, nothing really to worry about. But that was why I was so focused on this Vespene guide down here, thinking that actually this is where the extractor should have been. But it's over there, so never mind. Gas is ready in order to build the upgrade, the speedling upgrade, the metabolic boost, as it is called. And in the meantime, we have the command center over here for Miyako, going into a factory right behind it, so we might even see kind of the same push out of her, maybe just a bit different, because that's what Miyako likes to do. We rarely see her play the same tactic twice in a row. She sometimes seems to be doing kind of the same thing early on, but then just does something completely different. And in this case, it's going to be the Hellion build, but also with a quick star portal right behind it. Maybe even double mine could also be it. So we'll see what's coming out of this factory, but it's going to be the Hellions. And a tech lab right behind it, so it seems as if afterwards Miyako would like to either go into quick stim or, what is more likely, into Banshees. So more of an harassment play this time around, not a full-out assault with tanks and bio, but this time around just mostly a harassment build. But yeah, Novea has already found her own answer. She's just trying to surprise her opponent with a quick Ling Roach attack. Oh, a quick Ling Baneling attack. Sorry for that. It's getting late, and I've already had a lot of games to cast. So, okay, trying to get the surround on the Hellions. Nice micro here by Miyako, just trying to get good hits, especially on the Banelings. And that first blow just almost destroyed like half of them. Well, the Banelings get inside, has to be careful now. She really doesn't want to lose all of them. But Miyako also has to be careful with her workers. If like enough Banelings explode, then it might be game-ending damage. But fortunately, well, if you can't really say fortunately, Miyako just being too well exercised to let that happen. She just actually kills most of the Banelings before they can even come close to that SCV count. Only actually a few SCVs get bruised by one Baneling exploding, and in the meantime just more attack units by Novea being rallied across the map, trying to deal more damage, even getting this orbital command pretty low, but not dealing enough damage in order to take it out. Yes, and from now on, I mean, Novea had the possibility to do a lot of damage with the Lings and Banelings. She actually didn't manage to do that, and now she's just having a lot of problems. Hellions just coming across the map. The only thing she has to defend are only Speedlings. With more Speedlings and a good surround, she might even be able to make something happen. But with these Hellions actually turning into Hellbats and the Banshee follow-up, I can't really say that I can see her holding this. I mean, she will lose so many units and drones to that actually. It doesn't really have to care about the Spore Crawler. I mean, the Spore Crawler is of course annoying for that Banshee, but it can just fly away to a better angle. Now even seeing that a few Banelings are being morphed, trying to target them down before they can connect with the Hellbats, actually getting one of it, but 6 drones have already died. More Hellions arrive, morphing or turning into Hellbats as well. The drones can actually get away, so that's nice for Novea over here, but the mining from the natural base has effectively been cancelled, and she still hasn't found an answer toward that Banshee. No cloak available yet, but there's only one queen around here as well. Banshee is bruised, so it has to retreat for now. But again, I mean, this base is just almost lost. I mean, it will take some time to take it down with just Hellbats and that one Banshee over here. Oh, especially nice move here with the queen just popping out right immediately, just targeting down the Banshee over here. So nice move by Novea over here, but losing that natural base is just devastating. Miyako in the meantime has had a lot of time to saturate her own natural base. She's also even producing a third one behind it, and with Novea just mining from one base, being down in tech, only having lair tech available, and maybe a second queen incoming. No way to do it. GG, and Miyako takes the second game as well. Frozen Temple is the third map. Spawning to the top left-hand corner in teal, it's NoveaStar. And to the bottom right-hand side in purple, we have LDLC's Miyako as Terran. Two times in a row, she's managed to overwhelm her opponent. Let's see if she can do it again, thus securing her stainless 11-0 ranking, not having lost a single matchup, having only lost one map to another Terran player in our league named Grizzly. A game where the student actually managed to overwhelm the teacher. If you want to have a look at that spectacular game, if you want to see how Miyako lost her only map throughout the season, you can do so by taking a look at the board section of the FSL. I can't really tell you right now what week it was, but it was the matchup between Grizzly and Miyako. Shouldn't be too hard to find. I think it was season 6, but I'm not quite certain. So, Novea just going for the typical standard Zerg build once more. Hatch first, pool, hatch first gas pool. Don't know why I always try to say it the other way around. Reaper already in construction. Command center being built up here. Miyako doesn't want to take the risk of being overwhelmed by quick Zerglings if she had planted it down here, it might be difficult to defend it. In the worst case scenario, she would even have to cancel it, which would be devastating for her that early on in the game. So she doesn't really want to take that risk. Just closes off the wall over here, reactor getting added towards that barracks. We have another barracks in place back here. So like I said before, Miyako just never doing the same build twice in a series. I haven't seen it thus far. So in the meantime, we have just the Reaper over here being annoying as hell. Also already having 3 kills, which is really disastrous. And now again, just throwing the Reaper bomb in here. Actually, Novea, for some reason, having delayed her queen for quite some time here. So the Reaper actually did way more damage than it actually was supposed to do. So like I said, like 3 kills, 3 worker kills is like massive. So that's not something you want to happen. Or actually, okay, it was only 1 worker kill and 2 lings. I was already wondering why the why it didn't show up that 3 drones had been killed. But yeah, mostly lings. Okay, then it's not that bad. Still something that shouldn't happen. But yeah, I mean, losing lings that early in the game against a Reaper, it just gains you some time. And now she might even be able to get it. But the Reaper's still trying to get the drone, just barely not getting it this time around. But of course, whoa! Almost be able to just jump away from the lings. Finally gets torn down. So these little Zerglings just taking sweet revenge for their dead brethren. So nicely done there by Novea. In the end, after having lost 3 units of her own, she finally takes down that Reaper. But it was totally worth it for Miyako though. Going into a fast lair this time around, and also building a Roach Horn. Seems as if Novea wants to go for a very early Roach Ravager timing, and that could actually work. But we've seen Miyako holding more difficult pushes on this map. So let's see. I'm not overconfident in this, but I also don't think it will lose anyways. So 2 medivacs being built, we have a bunker in position, mostly bio units, only marines. So like I said, if there will be a lot of roaches early on in the game, Miyako might be struggling to hold this. Stim is being researched and will be finished before a potential push arrives. 3rd base now down, it's not getting saturated yet, might only be there for lava, we'll see. What Novea is going to do with it, but only now she's building 4 drones over here. Seems as if she just wants to lay it a little bit longer, but she's already researching the roach speed, so I think roach production should be imminent, and there it is. 4 roaches on the way, maybe even trying to get a +1 attack upgrade as well, so making this a +1 roach ravager timing. But the first drop is now incoming as well. What do we have here? We have actually Marines mostly, and Marines only. So it's just a big Marine push at the 3rd base. Again, just no units whatsoever. Novea just being like greedy as hell, and this time around she won't even be able to cancel it. Is probably going to lose that hatchery without having taken any value from it. So wow, this again just hurts so much. Losing a 3rd base without even having profited from it, and Miyako can just load in and even fly into the main base, and still there's just so few units here. I mean, she somehow has to get queens in position in order to try to deal with these medivacs over here, but the roaches alone just won't suffice. I mean, the stimmed bio can just take out a few roaches on its own, no problem here, especially with the support of medivacs and Miyako's micro over here, taking down an overlord, taking down a queen, now even getting into the drone line, killing off drone 6, 7 before Novea finally reacts and pulls them away from the Marines. But yeah, I mean, this one bile just won't do much damage here. Just Miyako loads in, moves away. I don't even know if she would have really needed to. Yeah, and she really doesn't. Just flies around pretending to fly away and then just comes back in, while she also drops at the bottom side with a few more Marines as well. Then again, just walking in with those, and now just playing catch and run, or just displaying run and hide from this base, just getting in wherever Novea's army is not So just trying to drop here again, but there's a spore crawler over here, so not doing it right now, just unloading a few units, healing them up, and then just going back in, while in the meantime she just builds up more and more of her economy and another command center as well. Okay, drop just in the main base again, drop also down here at the southern location. There's no third base for Novea. Her economy is just melting, and while the units just try to deal with the drop over here, finally managed to get it down. Yeah, the medevac over here survives after having killed 11 workers, and that's just disastrous. I mean, let's have a look. We have 24 drones to 45 workers and 2 mules. And actually, no, I was wrong. She didn't get it. The dropship was just over there in some point of the map where I couldn't really see it with the help of the minimap. Yeah, so again, Miyako just goes in, kills some more, flies out. No way that Novea is getting that medevac anytime soon with only corrosive piles, and in the meantime just dropping back here. Novea just really needs to split up her army, but it's more difficult to do than said, because most times if you just don't have enough units to fend this push off, the push can just kill or just make you lose a lot of your army. But if you of course just move all of your army to one point, you will just be very vulnerable at another point of your base. So that's actually what Miyako abuses here very well for her own sake, and now she has a big push incoming with a lot of marines, 1-1 marines with stim and the shield upgrade plus the mines as well. Only Ravagers against that, getting just tracked by everything. Miyako not even being afraid of all these units, just trying to move even closer. The rest of the mines just kill the rest of the units. GG, and Miyako goes for a swift 3-0.